Hello, everybody. Really good to be here once again with lovely Kim for a little chat. And welcome to our chatty podcast, Strong, Grounded, Unstoppable. And today we're actually going to talk about how I got here doing this. I'll try and keep it short. Kim, what did you want to ask me, darling?
Well, I have a lot of questions. And for the viewers to know, like Susie and I have never actually met. We only met
Mm.
virtually
Mm.
online and in discussing podcasting and things like that. So that's how we became very, very good friends. So I'm being a little selfish because I want to know more about Susie so we
Thank
can
you.
share it with everybody. But
Yeah.
Susie, I'm very, very fascinated by the course and you were just saying like that you've got it very close to being able to launch it. And
Mm.
I just think it's so fascinating for people to be able to know, which I said on one of our other shows, but you can go online and there are thousands of courses. I mean,
Mm.
thousands of courses, and they're all polished. They're all,
Mm.
rah, rah, rah. But I don't feel you ever actually get to know the person and it's the
Mm.
person that you're
That's
going to be
true.
partnering with, right? Like it's a
Mm.
partnership.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's really important that we know about you, which we've discussed. But so what made you want to do an actual course versus, only the podcast or your books, the
Yeah.
course
The,
part?
the 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 first thing I will say is that I looked up the difference between the words course and program.
Mm,
Mine is a program, which I
perfect. Okay,
prefer
thank you for
actually.
that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was also just telling you about evolving because now at 67, I am actually now practicing my life's purpose. And my goodness me, it's taken a long time to get here. And I also have just packed up and sent off for selling all my photography gear because from
Hmm.
2008 to, last year, or even this year, I have been a professional photographer. And
Oh my gosh.
so,
How did that feel? That
it
right there
felt
that's
it felt
big.
okay
Good.
because I'm so loving. I can't wait to get to my desk during the day.
Yeah.
I'm so loving what I'm doing. Evolving can be really tough. It's hard work. It takes a lot longer than we think. And so, in the progression of developing my Mastering Mental Toughness program, oh my goodness, it's probably taken a good year physically at my desk, writing and changing and developing putting the slides together, all of which have one of my photographic images on because we learn in different ways. And I felt a visual would help people connect to the words and what I'm saying. And so I love that I actually have a bank of photos to be able to use.
Can I
So
ask you
it
a
felt
question?
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Well, because I don't know a lot about the photography end of what you did, but it's so interesting that you've meshed the two of them because a photographer, you get the essence of the person, the outside of the person, right? You match it with lighting and things like that, but you're not really seeing the inside of the person. And I love
Now,
that now you've figured it out.
yeah, this is
Yeah.
really, I photographed people. I love people. And so it taught me a lot about people,
Yes.
especially, I mostly did weddings, but I did portraiture, family portraiture, and then boudoir. And it was a fascinating learning experience. I loved doing weddings so much that I once said if I won the lottery, I'd go and do weddings as a gift to people, which
Yeah.
probably was slightly mad because they are very tiring. It's a
Yes.
huge responsibility and you've got to deliver on so many different levels. I
Yeah.
was very much an available or a natural light photographer, whereas my partner Damien has been well known as the lighting camera expert and photographer. So we're very different in our approach, which again creates some fascinating discussions. But so selling my camera gear, it's been a wonderful time, but it was time. I got into doing what I'm doing now I went to college to find out I looked up how I could be a better photographer. I just wanted to take photos of my two daughters as they grew up. And this was about 2000, 2001. And I went to Leominster Library and I looked up, the possibilities. I didn't really want to join a camera club. And the Hereford College of Art had a diploma in photography. So I thought, I'll go have a look. So I had to take a little file and all of this. And so I was accepted, but then I had got ME and they kept my place for me. So,
Awesome.
and for a year, and by which time it had developed into an honours degree course. So I did the BA honours in photography over 4 years. So I graduated in 2008 at the age of 50 with a first, because I wanted a first for me. So I worked hard, but I found my passion. I loved it. So off I went and toddled, and I started doing weddings in 2009, done lots of weddings. In 2014, I started to do boudoir photography because I knew that I was getting older and I wouldn't be able to do the weddings. Is jolly hard work and your gear is quite heavy. And you're on your feet for perhaps 12 hours in the day, and also engaging mentally, emotionally, technically, So I started doing boudoir because money-wise, it was far less time for, a decent sum of money, although I never overcharged, and I'm not overcharging with what I do now. I've been told it's far too cheap, but anyway, we'll get there. So the boudoir was so interesting because I would get the most beautiful, slender young women who didn't like their body. Susie, could you remind me to hold my tummy in? And I'd silently think, what tummy? And then I'd get a very large, literal dead ringer for Dawn French. Do you know Dawn French in your country?
No.
A comedian as well. She's very big, fantastic woman. Who couldn't wait to get her clothes off. Her clothes were flying all over the place. Her boobs were sort of bouncing around, and it was just like, oh God, that's amazing. Let's go for it. But I
Yes.
used to get tears. I used to get tears of relief at how I made them feel. And I got this reputation for enabling women to feel really good about themselves. Partly during the experience, which is the all important thing, but then again, when they saw their photos. So, and I loved that. Then I was talking to some people in my photography degree. I did a project about women of spirit, and my tutor, just when I'd heard, I think it was my second project, so it was the 10th of June 2005. I discovered the affair that my husband, the father of my children, was having. His mobile phone did a pocket answer when I rang him about a computer problem, and it answered just as his lover was getting into the car. And I heard their greeting and I heard their kiss, and this was like it was literally physical punch in the stomach. I was bent over double and couldn't breathe. So that was something. But I went back to college. I say it was something. It was hell. But my tutor gave me an A grade. I was literally trembling. This was a few days later. I thought, I'm not going to go, because college became a sanctuary.
Yes.
And I got an A grade, and he said, yeah, Susie, this could be a book. So fast forward 12 years, and I published the first book of Women of Spirit. My story's in there. That's actually me at 58. And then that was 2017, 2019, I published the second book, absolutely full of stories, each with my portrait of each woman.
Nice.
These women have gone through trauma, adversity, harrowing sometimes, but it's always a positive and happy ending. So in the books, there are stories and signposts. So that took me into doing the portraiture and just working with people and learning through their stories, being interviewed, etc. And so it was just before I got COVID, just after my mother died. Daddy died, my mother died. So this was 2021. And a friend of mine is an executive business leadership coach, charges loads of money and it is incredible. And she always began her coaching with a mental toughness assessment. And I said, I like the idea of mental toughness. Tell me more. Because people said to me, you are so inspiring. Your resilience is inspiring. And I've been through so much. And actually, through the legal case, which I'll tell you about another time, that business executive coach said to me, I don't know how you're still standing. And another woman said to me, watching your dignity through this year is life-changing. So I thought, I could do something. I want to have a qualification that can help me help people who need to be stronger, grow their self-worth, grow their resilience. And so here I am, a licensed mental toughness assessor and practitioner. And because I did the training, and I partner with AQR International, who are global in 80 countries. And the psychometric tests that they developed is different to all the other ones, the well-known ones that assess how we behave. Mm-hmm. This one gets into our head and accesses how we think over the 4 C's: control, commitment, challenge, and confidence. And each of those are broken down into 2. So confidence would be in our ability to do things, and also confidence in ourselves and who we are. So it's fascinating. And so that's what I then developed, my own Mastering Mental Toughness course, which, as I said to somebody, and maybe I said it last time, Kim, and I'm sorry, audience, if I'm repeating myself. However, initially it took me 6 months to create. I've added on another 6 to 8 months in really honing it and developing it, and the workbooks. But actually it's taken me a lifetime, because my lived experiences have all gone into this. And so I haven't only done a coaching, I haven't done a coaching course, although I'm actually going to do a course in an informed trauma course, because I'm going to start working with women around domestic abuse. But this course for individuals, it goes out on the 20th of October. It's split into 2. So the first half is a 5-week fast track. And it's got 5 chapters in it. And then the second week is a 5-week deep dive, which is optional. And my audience is essentially working women and entrepreneurial women who are, say, over 50, mature women, because that's where my expertise lies, and that's what I am, well over 50. But I'm just loving it, and it's been hard work. My goodness, I've put the work in. But that's the point. When you love what you do, it's not work. Well, it is work, but it's work that, so you want to be doing it. And so getting right back to your question, how did it feel about selling all my lovely, incredible camera equipment? Because I loved creating the image, especially with a 70 to 200 lens. It was a little bit of a prick, in my heart, but didn't last. It was just a prick, because that era is over. And I'm doing what I should be doing, what I want to be doing, and actually what I think I'm really meant to be doing. So here I am, showing up with my Mastering Mental Toughness. Oh, Thank you for asking that question.
So so that's really fascinating again because of the age group that you've chosen.
Mm,
Because women, I think we did talk about this one other time, but we are so busy, when our teen years and our 20s and our 30s and having kids and getting our careers going and then
mm,
the kids in the school and then getting them off to college. Like our focus is on everybody else
mm-hmm,
for that whole time of our life,
mm,
right?
mm,
So
mm,
your audience is going to be the women like you and I and whatever,
mm,
but that have done all of those things
mm, mm.
and then now sort of take a big deep breath and say, well, what's
What do
next?
I really want to be, do, and have?
Yes.
And I love that question that we can ask ourselves.
Yeah.
And it's something that you said to me the other day about when something unpleasant or unfortunate happens to us or is
Yeah.
so we can ask ourselves that question. What do I really want to happen next? What do
Yeah.
I really want to be there's
Yeah.
books written about be, do, and have, but it's a really important thing. And so I also love the fact that where I am right now is exactly where I'm supposed to be.
Right. Right.
And that goes for everybody.
Hmm.
And that goes whether you're not in a great place,
Hmm.
because it's the lesson that's coming to you and that you're going to learn from where you are right now. And let's finish on the fact that I think Oprah says it very beautifully, but all we have is right now. Everything that we have is in this very moment.
Yeah.
So I choose to be happy
Yeah.
and I choose to do what I love and to be rewarded for it, because that's another block that a lot of women have, because we're the nurturers and the givers.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a fascinating process, and loving your work, and with no intention at 67 of stopping. I'm just starting. Yeah.
No, absolutely not. And
Mm.
and most of the greats of the world. I mean, do you know Louise Hay? Have you ever seen any of
Yes. Oh,
her work?
yes. Yeah.
My gosh, she was like 80,
Mm,
like
mm,
so women that think they hit 65 and that's it or 60 or
mm, mm,
whatever. Oh my
mm.
gosh, you are just beginning. Like,
And it's our time. You
yeah.
know, my girls have gone off. Lottie's just about to go traveling, and Bee's in New Zealand. So, and I'm thinking, oh my God, both my girls are going to be so far away. But actually, that will give me the space to do what I'm going to be really busy doing. And I intend to travel doing keynotes and stuff around the mental toughness. So, and maybe I will get to Australia to do that and see my girls. So, anyway, Kim, thank you so much for allowing
Yeah.
me to speak a bit more around that. I'm going to be posting about the launch, because October is going to come very soon.
Oh yeah, very fast.
And yeah, it's super exciting. So yeah.
I'm really proud of you. I mean, that's like you
Oh.
mentioned, it's taken your whole life, but a lot
Mm,
of work recently and
mm. But
that's
I
definitely
think it's like all the people, the women in these books, what they did was they turned their pain into their passion, and most
Mhm.
of them into their profession. And I think that's given what they went through, and this has given me what I went through, meaning. So
Yes.
we've turned, what was a series of real negatives into a wonderful positive. And if you can do that with your life, you're winning. You're winning at life, as they, as they
But
say.
it's
So
meant to be shared. Like we said
yes,
early on, like
yes.
your gifts, the things that you're given and the gifts that you
Mm,
you
mm,
find from all of your stories or
mm,
whatever,
mm.
if you don't share those, like you don't want to. I think it was Wayne Dyer actually said, like, don't die with your music still in you,
Oh,
and your
yeah,
music
yeah.
is your gift, like your
Yes,
gift, right?
yes.
So whatever,
Maya Angelou, one of my
yes,
favorite women, and her books. Some of those are in fact, in the resources section of my program. I've just put any or all of the Maya Angelou, and I've
nice,
used some of her quotes. And she said something about the hardest or the most painful thing is if you die with your story still inside you.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel very blessed because I don't mind being vulnerable and sharing my story,
Mm-hmm.
because I know it's going to help someone know that they're not alone or that they've been through that. And
Yes.
so I'm not doing it to moan and say, poor little me. I'm sharing it to, well, I love stories anyway. That's
Yeah.
another time.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
You're
Kim.
very welcome.
Thank you, our lovely audience, for listening or watching. And if you'd enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. And we will see you again very soon. Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.